let's have a look at how to work with user and access rights in Caflou. You can always invite a user either from the action item here, or you can go to user management and click invite user. When you are inviting a user, you can pick two things. You can pick whether this user is to be part of a group, and then what the default rights of this user should be. The groups, it's about privacy. If you are using groups, it means that users only see other users within this one Caflou account if they belong to the same group. So it's not about group rights, it's more about privacy, that people who shouldn't be seeing other people are seeing those people. So that's the groups. The default rights mean that if you invite a user with a default right, say with read and write or read, they see all objects in Caflou, or they can set up any object in Caflou, meaning they can create by default companies, projects, tasks. If you are not sure about the level you should be giving them, it's always safe to start with nothing, and you can add rights later on. Once you do that, the user will get an email, and after they accept the invitation, you can start adding, changing their rights or inviting them to work together with you on projects and tasks. This is the email that a user will receive after you have invited them. So after they get the email, they click sign up, they'll fill out their email, their password, and they accept the invitation. After the user has accepted the invitation, you can play it with their rights. Let's have a look at, say here. You see Hanna Macková has no rights. So if you go to her profile, you can modify the rights, you can add rights, or you can change rights on an individual company or project level. After you save it, then she sees what she's supposed to see. You can also play with special rights. If you're the owner of the account, you can modify the special rights, and the rights are like account settings, so the user can modify different account level settings. They can invite users, they can see cash flow, they can see invoices, they can go to trash. Trash is a specific feature because anything you delete goes to trash, and you can empty the trash later on, or it gets emptied after 30 days. You can give them access to the timesheet amounts. If they don't have it, they just see the volumes but not the monetary values. And the same is with users track time. If they don't have it, they see only their tracked time, not track time of other users. So you can always update these things later on. If you then work with objects, say you're creating a project, and if you go to the privacy tab, and you can do this with any object, you see that those users will have access to this type of object because of their account level. You see, because on account level they have access to read or write projects. You see Hanna Macková has no rights because she has nothing as the default right, so you can always change it. You can also change the default right individually on each object. So after I save it, Jiřitenka wouldn't have access to these projects. Also, when I was saying the safest option, if you don't know about what level to start with, is nothing, as with Macková here. And how I suggest to work with it is that you give users rights by giving them roles on an object. If we look at the project, Hanna Matskoa has no right, but if I either make her a project manager or a contributor, the privacy rights get recalculated, and you see that now she has an access right based on the role on the object. Similar would be with tasks or companies. If I set up a new company, Hanna Matskoa has no default access right, but if I make her an assigned person, she gets the right. Okay. Also, what's important to say is there's a hierarchy in Caflou. Caflou is on the top. So if you give someone an access right on the company level that the person sees or can write into a company, the rights get inherited downwards to projects, to tasks. So any projects that is created under a company gets the same rights. So it's hierarchy. This way you can make sure that, say, your customers, your clients who could have access to Caflou could have access only to their company, or any external workers that you can use, freelancers, they can have access only to a project they're working on, or only to a task that is assigned to them. So that's how you can work with user rights.